Do you know there are 5 dhikrs that can change your night and your tomorrow? Most people never hear this. Listen closely. Tonight, you'll learn these 5 dhikrs and what each one opens inside your heart. Ibn Arabi taught that every phrase carries a different effect. And most people go their whole lives without realizing the real work these words do. Stay with me. You've been reciting these dhikrs for years. You've been repeating the words. But not the awakening. It's not your fault. No one ever taught you what these phrases truly do. And here is the part most people miss. What feels like spiritual dryness may actually be the first sign that something is shifting within you. Take a breath. Some nights your heart feels heavier than it should. Like you're carrying something you can't name. The room is quiet. But your chest isn't. The heart doesn't always speak loudly. Sometimes it whispers through discomfort. In simple words, the unease you feel is often the beginning of inner change. Maybe you've noticed it. A restlessness. A moment where dhikr comes to your tongue without you planning it. A feeling you can't explain. There is a meaning behind this. There is a reason each dhikr rises at a different moment. A reason one phrase feels right on some nights. And another feels right when you're struggling to breathe calmly. This is not random. Because once you understand what these 5 dhikrs do inside you, dhikr never feels the same again. And this is where everything begins to open. Now let's look at what this really means. To understand this more clearly, we need to begin with something simple Ibn Arabi taught. He said that remembrance is not just repetition. It is a state of the heart. And every dhikr touches a different state inside you. In simple words, dhikr is not about saying something many times. It is about what each phrase awakens within you. Stay with me. Some dhikr softens the mind. Some calms the chest. Some gathers your scattered thoughts. Some eases what you regret. Some restores trust when you feel uncertain. The Sufi masters explain that the tongue speaks. But the heart receives. And the heart receives every dhikr differently. This is where the meaning becomes clear. Think of it like this. When you open a window in a quiet room, the air shifts even before you notice it. Dhikr works the same way. The change begins subtly. Before your mind understands what is happening, the heart responds immediately. Even when you don't feel anything yet. And maybe this explains something you've been sensing. Moments when you recite a dhikr but feel disconnected. Moments when nothing seems to move inside you. Moments when you wonder if your remembrance is reaching anywhere at all. That quiet discomfort isn't failure. It is the heart preparing for alignment. Maybe this is why some nights feel heavier than they should. Why your prayers feel distant. Why you sense a block you can't name. You're not doing anything wrong. Your heart is simply asking for a different kind of dhikr. One that speaks to the state you are in at that moment. Each of the 5 phrases meets a different need. One brings clarity. One brings grounding. One brings return. One brings release. One brings trust. And when you know which one your heart is calling for, your night begins to change. To understand this more clearly, we need to look deeper into what each dhikr does inside you. Now we go deeper. Because each of the 5 dhikrs has its own work inside you. And when you see these differences with a clear heart, something settles. We'll look at the first 3 dhikrs here. Each one carries a specific effect. A specific shift. A specific opening. Stay with me. Dhikr 1, SubhaanAllah. It means, glory be to God. A return to clarity. Ibn Arabi's taught that this dhikr clears the perceptions that become fogged by worry, thought, and attachment. Saying, SubhaanAllah, is like opening a window in a room that feels stale. Which means fresh air enters even before you notice. This dhikr helps when you're overwhelmed by thoughts, pressure, or overthinking. When your mind makes small things feel larger than they are. In simple words, this phrase helps you see things as they truly are, not as fear exaggerates them. Maybe you've noticed this inside yourself. A tiny worry becomes a chain of thoughts. A small comment turns into a wound. A single moment takes your entire energy. Look at what rises inside you at times like this. This is where clarity begins. Sometimes you're carrying things your heart never needed to hold. Sometimes you cling to assumptions the moment you feel uncertain. So when this dhikr comes to your tongue, pause. Let it open your inner space. Let it remind you that your thoughts are not your reality. Dhikr 2, Alhamdulillah. It means, all praise is for God. A return to balance. Ibn Arabi said gratitude is not just noticing blessings. It is the heart remembering what supports it. Saying, Alhamdulillah, is like placing both feet back on solid ground after slipping. You feel the stability beneath you again. This dhikr speaks to dissatisfaction, comparison, frustration, and inner imbalance. It centers you. It brings you back from what your mind is chasing to what your heart already has. Perhaps this explains something you've been feeling. Days when everything seems not enough. Moments when you compare yourself to others without wanting to. Times when nothing feels satisfying. Take a slow breath here. This is where the heart softens. What seems empty may actually be steady. What feels small may be holding you quietly. So when frustration rises, whisper this phrase. Let it ground you. Let it bring you back to the present moment. Not the imagined one. But there is something deeper most people never notice. Dhikr 3, La ilaha illallah. It means, there is no reality except God. A return to center. Ibn Arabi taught that this dhikr gathers what is scattered within you. It pulls your attention back from every place it has been lost. Saying it is like gathering scattered papers on a desk and placing them in one pile. Everything comes together again. This dhikr speaks to the moments when fear rises. When you feel uncertain. When your attention is pulled in many directions. And when you give your peace to things that cannot hold a transformation. This dhikr brings you back to what is real. Not what is loud. The Quran reminds us that with hardship comes ease. Ibn Arabi explained this ease as the heart returning to its true anchor. Maybe you've been feeling stretched. Maybe your attention is everywhere except where calm lives. Maybe your heart is divided between hope and fear. Stay with me here. This is where clarity begins. You keep giving your inner peace to things that were never meant to protect it. You hand your calm to outcomes, people, expectations. And this dhikr gathers it all back. So when you feel scattered, say it slowly. Let it pull you inward. Let it bring your focus back to the one who never shifts. These three dhikrs speak to clarity, grounding, and return. But their meaning becomes clearer when you see them inside a real human moment. And that is where we go next. Imagine this for a moment. Someone sits alone in their room at night. The light is dim. The air feels still. It's the kind of quiet where every thought becomes louder. Their phone is face down beside them. They're not looking for distractions anymore. They're just trying to understand what's happening inside their chest. The day felt heavy. Not for one clear reason. Just a weight they couldn't name. So they start with what they remember. SubhaanAllah. They whisper it softly. Nothing dramatic shifts. But the room feels a little less tight. Just a small release in their breath. Then they say, Alhamdulillah. Still, no obvious change. But there's a sense of coming back to themselves. As if something inside is settling. And finally, La ilaha illallah. Not with strength. Just the way a tired heart speaks when it's searching. This time, something moves. Not a miracle. Not a sudden moment of clarity. Just a slight opening. Like the inner world loosened by a few degrees. They don't even realize it at first. But it's real. A small shift. A quiet easing. Dhikr often works like that. The heart changes before the mind understands. This simple scene carries a truth many people overlook. Now let's bring this back to you. And to the way the next two dhikrs speak directly to what you've been carrying. Now we bring this closer to you. Because the next two dhikrs speak directly to the places you've been carrying pain quietly. You may not talk about it. You may not even name it. But something inside you has been asking for release. And asking for trust. These two dhikrs meet those exact states. Stay with me. Dhikr 4, Astaghfirullah. Which means, "Oh Allah, forgive me." A return to release. Ibn Arabi taught that seeking forgiveness is not about blame. It is about removing what weighs the heart down from the inside. Saying, Astaghfirullah, is like opening a window in a room that feels heavy. The air shifts quietly. This dhikr speaks to regret. To old patterns you keep returning to. To moments of self-blame. And to the memories you still carry inside you. In simple words. This dhikr helps you put down what your heart can no longer hold. Maybe you've been holding something too long. A moment from the past. A mistake you keep revisiting. A habit you want to leave but keep returning to. Your ego wants control. Your heart wants peace. Sometimes you avoid the truth that could free you. Sometimes you keep repeating what hurts you. Because you don't know another path yet. Take a breath. It's okay. You're not failing, you're learning to release without fear. This dhikr gently loosens the tightness around your memories. It reminds you that starting again is allowed. And that the door of return is always open. Even when you're slow to walk through it. So when regret rises tonight, whisper it softly. Let it open a small space inside you. This is where your heart begins to breathe again. Dhikr 5, HasbunAllahu wa ni'mal wakeel. Which means, Allah is enough for me, and He is the best one to rely on. A return to trust. Ibn Arabi said true trust is not passive. It is the heart leaning back into divine care. After carrying too much on its own. Saying this dhikr is like putting down a heavy bag you've carried all day. Your hands finally rest. This dhikr speaks to the fear you hold about the future. To the worries you carry about outcomes. To the moments when you feel unsupported. And to the doors that seem closed in your life. This dhikr shifts your burden from your mind. To the one who guides your path. Maybe a door feels closed to you. Maybe uncertainty keeps circling your thoughts. Maybe you've been trying to manage everything alone. What looks like delay may actually be preparation. What feels like silence may be protection. Take this in gently. Sometimes you run from the very surrender that could calm you. Sometimes you fear what your heart already knows is safe. This phrase brings you back to trust. Not by changing your situation. But by easing the tension inside you. Whisper it when your thoughts rise. Let it steady you. Let it remind you that you are not walking alone. Stay with me. Because there is a deeper truth behind all of this. And that is where we go next. But here is the deeper meaning. Pause with me for a moment. Most people skip this pause. And that is why they miss the insight. Take a slow breath. Because the real work of zikr is not what you think. Zikr does not change your life from the outside first. It changes the world inside your heart, and then everything feels different. In simple words, these 5 phrases reshape the way you see your situations, your fears, your delays, and even your hopes. Zikr transforms you before it transforms anything around you. And suddenly, the heaviness in your chest starts to loosen. The confusion you carried becomes clearer. The things you feared begin to make sense. This is what Ibn Arabi meant when he spoke of inner states. When the state of the heart shifts, the meaning of everything around you shifts with it. Think back to the person sitting in the quiet room. Nothing outside changed, but something inside opened. That small ease was real. It was the heart responding before the mind understood. And this is the clarity your heart has been waiting for. What felt like loss may have been realignment. What looked like delay may have been protection. What seemed like silence may have been preparation. So the next time a moment feels heavy, pause and let the zikr speak before your fear does. Now we move to the final reminder. As you reach the end of this reflection, return softly to the moment you began. The weight you felt, the questions you carried, the quiet restlessness inside you. They make more sense now. Ease doesn't arrive all at once. It comes in small movements. The way a tired heart slowly settles. You are being guided more than you realize. Your heart is not lost. It is learning how to open again. Sometimes the heart understands before the mind does. That is why these zikrs work quietly, gently, without needing to be felt in dramatic ways. Stay close to them tonight. Because this is where your inner world becomes clear. And this is where your heart finally understands. So when the feeling returns, pause for a moment. Let your breath settle. And listen to what the quiet inside you is trying to show. Peace to you. Walk gently with this understanding.